what we're gonna, I think we've got a really good base there to work from, and that's what we're going to be getting into is exactly. So we know that it was so that the white population could elevate themselves in terms of the economy. What we're going to get into is specifically how and why, like what exactly was the logic, the economic logic of why that was happening, and how it happened. And I say we've got a really good base because with what you guys have said now, because what you've said and what we're going to do today contrasts with what's called, what historians will call the liberal history of apartheid, where the kind of side of the economy is mostly left out, and apartheid is explained almost exclusively in terms of racism, which kind of hides the economic issues that were running underneath that racism. So that's what we're going to get into today. So we know the what, we know the laws, now we need to explore the why, and to explore the why we have to go back a bit. And the focus of this class has been, I understand, on the 20th century, but to do what we need to do properly, we're going to have to go back to 1867. Because in 1867, what happened, there was something that happened in South Africa called the mineral revolution. And it started with the discovery of diamonds in Kimberley in 1867 and the discovery of gold in the Witwatersrand in 1886. And that's a picture of some early miners. How familiar, are any of us familiar with this idea of the mineral revolution? We're going to get into it deeply, but before we start, I'm going to ask.
Are we familiar with that?
This mineral revolution, what does it mean? Why was it? Clearly it relates to minerals, right? To diamonds and golds, but why was it so revolutionary? That's what we're going to get into now. In fact, that's the very.
Try to pick up your voice. So straight.
Yeah, sorry. I often start talking and then I start talking down into my lap. So just keep me on point. Okay, so why do we call this thing a revolution? And at certain points I'll just read. At other points I'm gonna ask people to go around and read. That's how we did it at EE, so that's how we're gonna do it now. In fact, yeah, can we go around? Can we read like one point each?
Why do we call it a revolution? With the discovery of gold and diamonds in South Africa, the country changed in many serious ways.
It brought about a full-scale war between the two white populations.
It transformed the economy from being based on the farming to being based on the mining.
It intensified and accelerated the disassociation and exploitation of black population.
So now I've said that we know the what, now we need to know the why, and to know the why we need to go back. But to even know why that started, we need to go a bit further back. So we're going to do that now. Next.
Historical context. By the late 19th century, only very few parts of Africa were fully colonized by European imperial powers.
That's a map of Africa around 1880. And as you can see, like the previous slide said, the whole center of Africa is more or less untouched by now. You can see that the French have started going over there at the top, on the side. There's the British down here, the Boers and the Portuguese around the sides, but it's not fully taken yet, right? And when we see that by the early 20th century, this has changed really, really rapidly. So this is only 34 years later, and then suddenly the whole interior of Africa has been broken up and divided between these colonial powers.